Ever wanted to sell a property, but you couldn't afford to leave it vacant? Of course, that's why you're here. That's why you clicked on this video. And the good news is that you're not alone. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how I've helped my clients sell their rented properties for top dollar while they're still collecting rent. This is a strategy that I've personally used to close tens of millions of dollars in sales. And by the end of this video, my hope is that you'll know exactly how to do it and apply it into your situation. So if you're new here, I'm Steven Vargas, your go-to for all things Miami real estate. And if you want expert advice, property tours, and smart strategies just like this one, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that bell icon so you never miss a beat. All right, so let's get to it. Most people think that if they're trying to sell their property, they need to do it vacant, or they need to rent the property and just wait until the lease is over before they can actually sell it. But what if you need that rental income, but also need to sell the property? So here's the move. You need to set up a kick out clause in the lease. But, and this is the caveat, you need to do this before renting the property. So what's a kickout clause? Well, a kickout clause is an additional agreement that's embedded into the lease that says if the property is sold and the buyer wants to move in, then the tenant agrees to move out with proper notice. And usually that proper notice is 60 days. Now, why is it 60 days? Because in Florida, a lease stays in place after a sale. So unless you have a clause like this, you can't really do anything with the tenant. And more importantly, many mortgage lenders require the buyer to occupy the home within 60 days after closing. So no clause, no deal. It's that simple. So let me give you a real example as to how one of my clients avoided having this as an issue pop up when they're selling their property. So one of my clients owned a condo in Brickell that was renting for $5,500 per month. But if he left that property vacant to sell it, he'd lose up to $33,000 in rent during the average 4 to 6 months time window that it takes to sell that condo. So here's what we did. We dropped the price from $5,500 to $5,000 a month to attract a quality tenant fast and included a kickout clause. Now that $500 monthly discount to the tenant is what made it worthwhile to the tenant. He's getting a below market rent in a otherwise very nice condo. And that's what made it so attractive and appealing to so many people and created that demand to get somebody to sign a kickout clause. And additional to that, in the kickout clause, we also pre-negotiated showings on specific days and specific times. So there is no disruption or obstacle when it comes to showing and selling the property. And guess what? We sold the property in just 3 months. Now the seller got their price, the tenant saved a ton of money, and the buyer was able to move in, right? Everybody won. Now, let's just be very clear. This only works, as I mentioned, if you do this before renting the property. If your property is already leased, then you have to negotiate an entirely different strategy, which is to try to buy out an early termination from the tenant. And that's only going to be done by probably offering some compensation to the tenant to move out, which is what is known in our real estate world as cash for keys. But if you're in that sweet spot before leasing the property, then this tactic gives you the best of both worlds. You get the cash flow, yet you have the ability to sell without limiting your buyer pool. Now, I feel like I have to say this before wrapping this video. If you can afford to leave the property vacant and stage it, that is still the gold standard when it comes to selling your property, especially for luxury listings. But I understand that not everybody can float the carrying costs on a month-to-month basis, so this is your next best move. It protects your income while still giving you the flexibility that you need as a seller. All right, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I do my best to reply to every single one of them. And if you found this video valuable, hit that like button so YouTube shows this to more investors just like you. If you're thinking about buying or selling real estate in South Florida, you can schedule a call with me if you have any questions as well, and I can walk you through that process. My link will be found in the description box below. And hey, if you want more strategies just like this one, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you can stay in the loop for all things Miami real estate. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and God bless.